Long ago, before the earth existed, there was only water below and sky above. But high above the endless ocean floated a place unlike anything we know, a world of soft light and endless blossoms called the Sky World. In the Sky World, the trees were tall and silver-barked, with leaves that shimmered like sunlight on a lake. Flowers of every color bloomed year-round, fiery red lilies, bluebells that hummed in the wind, golden sunflowers with faces like small suns. The air smelled of wild mint and sweetgrass, and birds of emerald and sapphire feathers sang songs that curled like smoke through the air. There were no seasons, no storms, only a gentle, warm breeze that made the leaves whisper in languages forgotten by time. This world was home to the Sky People. Among them was a woman, gentle, curious, and wise. Her name has been lost in time, but many call her Sky Woman. She lived in harmony with all things. She tended the glowing trees, gathered starberries from vines that twinkled, and spoke to the clouds that drifted slowly beneath her home. Sky Woman was expecting a child, and she often dreamt of the world below, though no one knew what was there. One night she had a dream that unsettled her. She saw a great tree, the tree of life, being uprooted, leaving a hole in the sky world. A voice in the dream whispered, "Something must begin anew." When she awoke, she walked to the tree of life. Its roots were tangled with stars, and its blossoms lit the sky like constellations. She gently placed her hands on the bark, and at her touch, the tree cracked open at its base, and a hole formed in the ground where the roots had been. Through that hole, Sky Woman saw a swirling dark ocean far below. A gust of wind rose from it and pulled her downward. She reached out in fear and caught a handful of seeds from the tree's roots. Golden corn kernels, curling green bean pods, a squash blossom, tobacco leaves, and tiny wildflower seeds. She clutched them tightly as she fell, down through the hole, through the clouds, toward a world of water and storm. Sky Woman fell through the hole in the sky like a comet, tumbling through the soft clouds, her hands still holding the seeds she had gathered from the tree of life. She felt the wind rush past her, and the chill of the ocean below grew stronger and stronger as she plummeted. Before she could hit the water, two great swans, majestic and powerful, swooped down and caught her gently, their wings spreading wide like a silver blanket. They glided with her through the stormy sky, the clouds dark and swirling as they searched for a place to land. Their wings beat strongly, but they were tired, the wind pulling them lower and lower. At last they found the back of a great sea turtle swimming just beneath the water's surface. The swans carefully set Sky Woman down on the turtle's back. The turtle was wise, ancient, and calm. His shell was covered in moss and small sea plants, and his eyes twinkled like stars in the quiet ocean. "I will carry you," the turtle said in a voice like the deep rumbling of the earth. "But there is no land, no earth for you to walk on." Sky Woman gazed down at the vast, endless sea. She had fallen from a world of beauty and peace, and now all she could see was water. "We must make this world as beautiful as the one I left behind," she said. "Please, help me." The animals heard her call. They gathered around the turtle, looking to the sky, the sea, and to one another for courage. They knew the task before them would be great. The question was not whether it could be done, but how. "I will dive into the depths of the ocean," said Beaver, who had thick glossy fur and sharp teeth for gnawing. "I will bring back the earth." His tail splashed the surface of the water as he dove beneath. But the ocean was deep. its waters cold and thick. The beaver swam and swam, searching, but no earth came to him. At last, exhausted, he surfaced and swam back to the turtle, shaking his head. "The ocean is too deep. I could not find the earth." Next, Loon, the black and white bird with a long, graceful neck, volunteered. She dove from the sky, her wings spread wide, her body cut through the water like an arrow, sleek and strong. She dove deeper than anyone had before, her eyes scanning the dark waters for anything that might help. But even Loon could not find the earth. She returned to the surface, her feathers dripping with salt water, her eyes tired. "The depths are too dark," she said softly. "I could not bring the earth." Then, Otter, with her playful nature and shimmering brown coat, spoke up. "I will go," she said. "I love the water, and I will not give up." With a flip of her tail, she disappeared beneath the surface. For what felt like hours, Otter searched the dark waters, weaving through kelp and coral, her paws sifting through the sandy ocean floor. But even her cleverness could not find the earth. She swam back to the turtle, her fur slick and cold. "It is not to be found in the deepest parts," she said, her voice faint. "It is not here." Sky Woman's heart began to sink. How could she make this world beautiful without earth? How could she plant the seeds she had brought from the sky world if there was no soil? Just when hope seemed lost, a small voice spoke from the edge of the crowd. It was Muskrat, the tiniest and most humble of creatures. "I will dive," she said quietly. "I will try." At first the other animals laughed. "Muskrat, you are so small," said Beaver. "How will you find what we could not?" But Muskrat did not answer. Instead, she dove. Her tiny paws paddled furiously as she plunged deep into the cold, dark waters, her eyes fixed on a distant, glowing speck below. She swam faster and faster, deeper and deeper, her chest tight with effort. The ocean seemed to press in around her, heavy and endless. Time seemed to stretch, and just when it felt like she could not hold on any longer, Muskrat's paw brushed against something soft, something that felt earthy. Her heart raced with excitement. She reached down, her small claws grasping at the soil she had found hidden in the ocean's depths. She clutched it tightly, and with one final burst of strength, she swam back to the surface, gasping for air. The other animals gathered around as Muskrat floated up, her tiny body exhausted but triumphant. She held in her paws a small clod of earth, rich and brown, with bits of seaweed and shells clinging to it. "I found it," she whispered, her voice weak but proud. Sky Woman's eyes widened with joy. "You have saved us all," she said, kneeling before the small muskrat. "You have brought me the earth." The animals cheered, their spirits lifted by the brave little creature who had never given up. Sky Woman carefully took the small clod of earth from Muskrat's paws, feeling its cool weight in her hands. It was rough and sandy, mixed with bits of shell, but in her heart she knew it was enough. She stood tall on the back of the great turtle and gazed out at the endless ocean, her mind and heart filled with dreams of the world she hoped to create. "We must make this place beautiful," she said, her voice clear and steady. "It must be a world full of life, with trees, plants and animals, just like the sky world from which I fell." With that, she began to walk in a slow, graceful circle around the clod of earth, her bare feet touching the ground gently. As she stepped, the earth beneath her began to change. First, small green shoots poked up from the soil, tender and soft, like the first light of dawn. The air smelled sweet with the fresh scent of grass and earth. As Sky Woman walked, the seeds she had brought from the sky world seemed to come alive, their roots burrowing deep into the soil as their stems reached up toward the sky. The air hummed with life as the plants grew taller and stronger. Sky Woman's feet brushed against the ground, and soon the land around her began to take shape. The first plants that appeared were the three sisters. Tall, green cornstalks, sturdy and proud, their leaves rustling in the breeze. Beans, with their twisting vines wrapping around the corn, their green tendrils reaching up as if to join the sky. And squash, with broad, flat leaves that spread out like giant hands, creating a soft blanket over the earth. From the corners of the world, more plants began to grow. Tobacco, a plant sacred to the people, rose from the soil, its leaves long and fragrant. Wildflowers burst from the ground in splashes of red, yellow, and purple, attracting bees and butterflies, whose wings shimmered like the colors of the rainbow. Sunflowers grew tall, their golden faces following the sun, while bright clover carpeted the ground beneath them, filling the air with a soft honeyed scent. As the land expanded and the plants grew, the earth itself seemed to pulse with life. The land began to form rolling hills, and rivers wound through the valleys, their waters sparkling under the sky. Mountains rose in the distance, their peaks kissed by clouds, and great forests of tall trees, oak, pine, and cedar, appeared, their branches stretching out like arms, welcoming the sun. The animals watched in awe as the world took shape. The land was not just a place to live. It was a place of beauty, balance, and abundance. Sky Woman had not only brought life to the earth, but she had filled it with the harmony that existed in the sky world. She walked on, her heart full, feeling the power of creation under her feet. She paused by the river and dipped her hands into the cool, flowing water. Fish darted through the currents, their scales glinting like silver coins. Frogs croaked from the reeds, their voices a deep, musical sound. Dragonflies danced above the water, their wings a blur of blue and green. As Sky Woman walked, the wind rose in the trees, carrying the songs of the world with it. The clouds that drifted across the sky began to change, taking on new shapes and colors. Some were soft and white, like fluffy cotton, while others were deep grey, promising rain to nourish the earth. Finally, Sky Woman stopped and turned toward the animals who had helped her. They stood together, their eyes bright with wonder at the beauty of the world. "You see," Sky Woman said, her voice filled with gratitude, "the earth is not just a place for us. It is a living, breathing world, full of life and love. It is a place where every plant, every animal, and every person will live in balance with one another. We must protect it and care for it, as it will care for us." The animals nodded, feeling the weight of her words. They could sense that this world, the one they had helped bring into being, was fragile and precious. Sky Woman then looked toward the distant mountains, where a moon now rose in the sky, casting its soft light across the land. She smiled, knowing that this world was just beginning, but it had already become a place full of promise. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Remember that every living thing, whether animal, plant, or human, is connected. We all rely on each other, and it is through our cooperation that the world can flourish. If you wish to hear more stories like this, please like and subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. Thank you.